ní bó ṣe máa rí Ṣọlá ó máa ní drama. Ìyẹn ò ní drama, that one is just church kìíní.
Can it not be altered?
Màá lọ fún Ìyábẹ̀jì.
Yes.
Of course, that was the
plan.
That was the plan. Orí eléyìí tí mo ti lọ fún mo ṣe fẹ́ kúrò bẹ́ẹ̀. Ó wọlé ṣe oníwà ṣe Bọ́lá ṣe á dára sí. Lọ́la tí mo ń pààkì nǹkan báyìí wà gbà lọ́wọ́ mo ní ọ̀yẹ́ jẹ́ báyìí pààkì ẹ̀ lọ sáré lọ. Mo ní wọn kọ́kọ́ sọ ó kú fílẹ̀ fún mi dẹ̀ sáré bẹ́ẹ̀.
Ìtọ́dún ó ṣe máa kọ́kọ́
parí. Ẹgbẹ́ mi sókè ní èmi yìí náà kò sí nǹkan tó kàn mí. Ìgbà tí mo bá tàkẹ̀ tán mo ní pé ẹ ṣe mo ní ọ̀yá kí n tó tàkẹ̀ tán ó ti tú nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ kó tú. So tí bá parí ṣó ní ìsìn àsáré ló ń gbà.
Ọmọ wọn ṣe máa ń
Àsáré ló ń gbà.
Ilé àpòrin gan wà ní ọjọ́ ìgbọ̀n.
Mi ò tí ì sùn dáadáa. Ṣọlá mo rò pé fẹ́ pè é. Because everybody need time lẹ́yìn.
Ìyá àmàjọ ìlú nǹkan kan.
Bàbá ń kọ́ ká lọ sùn.
Ká lọ
Ká lọ pàtó. Èmi.
Ó gbọ́ mi yàrá wa náà ń jà náà.
Impromptu on work fún mi ni. Bàbá mi gbé 7 o'clock mo ti dé. Ọmọ àwọn ẹni. Àwọn sọ́jà.
Wàá ṣe kí á gbọ́lá.
Ṣé mẹ́kọ̀?
What's the difference in the two eyes?
Yeah, we share same size ló lọ ní. Bá a pè dé ní kejì
No,
yẹn.
eléwà ibi lápá bí
Àbí?
eléwà.
Nǹkan tí mo rí nìyẹn. Eléyìí ló yẹ kó wọ sí.
Hello, sorry. Saturday. Oh, okay, good. Àwọn ayé mi. Wọ́n ní wọ́n wá mi.
Wọ́n ní outside ọjọ́ mi ti ń lẹ́nu kó lé. Praise, open the door. Praise, open the door because wàá wọnú géèmù lọ ní.
Orí wọn tiẹ̀ ti tẹ́lẹ̀.
Just is to last the next 1 hour, 30 minutes or so.
What?
Àtẹ̀lé bẹ̀rẹ̀ bí pápá.
Because it's not live now.
Àti ṣe tán lọ́dà. Ṣé pé wọ́n kọ́ ló wọ ọ̀rọ̀ nìkan ló wọ? Ọdún ló máa ń kọ̀.
Olùkọ́ mọ̀ wá kọ̀.
Ọdún wọ tí àwọn fẹ́ tọ́ ọ̀kẹ́ tẹ́lẹ̀.
My ladies,
Olùkọ́ ní balógun láàrin obìnrin.
as always.
Next one, Rachel will be the only girl.
As always.
Àti mo ṣáà ti mọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ rí ṣẹ̀ máa wá ni mo ṣe ní ìzọ́ tẹ̀lẹ́tì. Káàkiri yóò ti bẹ̀.
Ṣé wàá ṣáàtì lọ mọ́?
We're live already.
We are live?
Me and Tia.
Ó fẹ́ tọ́jà wa ni o. We are live where? Torí gbogbo òdì.
Lẹ́yìn lẹ́mọ̀ ẹ ṣe máa gbé sí láì ká máa ṣó
gbogbo
kọ́tà ń ṣe.
Ẹ ká fi sí rìkọ́ ìtọ́jú.
Kò láì lórí IG.
No, tí wọ́n fẹ́ máa pre-record ní sọ àlè láì sọ̀rọ̀ àlè.
Gbogbo dáwà láìbù sí mi.
Facebook,
Wọ́n ń
TikTok,
ṣe rè ní ìlú.
Snapchat.
Wọ́n ń ṣe rè ní.
Àwa Gen Z àti lọ sórí Facebook.
Hey yo.
Jésù lọ́lúwa.
Ẹlẹ́wọ̀n.
Ilé ṣòro rẹ̀ rà ní.
Ìjọ kún lọ́jọ́ sí.
Mother's Day náà ní ṣá.
Àwọn òrìlà
Wàhálà yẹn ló tún pọ̀ jù.
Wàhálà
Ọkùnrin yẹn wọn ò ní wà lára rárá.
Wàhálà fún kí ni? Obìnrin náà ní wàhálà àwọn òní wàhálà. Ìyá mi ti gba Mother's Day gift already.
In cash or in kind?
In gift. It's not that
Bó tẹ̀ dání.
entirely. I don't like it. It's like
Kí ló ṣe alẹ́ àná wọ́n sùn lọ sí mọ́tò yẹn? Alẹ́ àná yẹn ló sọrí o. Imú yẹn di wà ní.
It's almost 3 weeks. Meaning we're going to story doctor.
Sinuses.
Imú yẹn kàn di wà
Yeah,
ní.
go look
But I
back.
still okay yesterday.
Only
when I saw
steroid.
her.
Ah.
Wọ́n máa fún ní steroid.
I go look back.
Orí ìdíyà.
No for real. She has nothing to do with us ní alẹ́ àná yẹn.
Richard, Prince, give me paper towel.
Yeah. Loose powder, abi?
But I think I have compressed.
Okay.
Big
Big
Ẹ̀jẹ̀ fẹ́ mi náà powder o. Ojú ìgbésí díẹ̀. Ẹ̀jẹ̀ rẹ̀ pépé towel.
Bros mi ti ń jọ àwọn orun fún ẹ sílẹ̀.
Praise.
Àbí dye, mo máa ń dye irun gbọ̀ngàn bá ṣe jẹ́ ọmọ rẹ̀.
Thank you.
Ẹ̀wọ̀n pé mo ti pẹ́ mo ti grey ṣá.
Fine, owó ni. Ṣé o ti lo tán mo fẹ́ fi wáìpì sí?
Stress mi ní ṣó.
Àwọn olówó ni.
Stress mi.
Ṣé sweet in kìíní yẹn?
Ó fẹ́ mu.
Ẹ̀yẹ́ ọmọ tí.
Ó fẹ́ mu.
Àtọ́ lọ kíní náà mo ní kí wọ́n máa rà bọ̀. Ìyá ẹ̀ tó lọ cheat free lọ.
Lágbèǹga. Èyí náà jáde ni.
Wọ́n ṣe boyfriend ṣé mi sún mi sálá jáde. Wọ́n ṣe boyfriend, girlfriend.
Wọ́n dẹ́kun jẹrà. Ẹ káàbọ̀. Ẹ̀sà. Abẹ́ máa tẹ̀
Richard.
àjọ máa jíròrò.
Richard.
Orin kọ́ akọ̀wé ẹjọ́ lélẹ́yìí o.
Kíkà ìsáwọ̀. Ìrìnkúndùn miscalculate time. Ṣé Richard?
Mo rí àwọn olóòtú àwọn ará East Coast ẹ̀. What's the Wi-Fi?
You need the Wi-Fi.
That's the Wi-Fi.
So, which one is it? Ọjọ́ ṣe tún. Alright. You're off. Okay. So, Mario. Dominica. Dominica. Ẹ kàn fìgá síbi tí ò yẹ ká fi.
Nǹkan tó ń sọ lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ yẹn pé sọ́dọ̀ òun ní ìyẹn tó ń dìbò náà.
This adulting thing, man.
Is that part of what we're talking about?
Kò yé mi.
It's part of it.
I need to be real o, yẹ ẹja sọ.
It's part of it. So my idea was, it's kind of like if you're watching The View, you know how they have like different topics and then they chime in. So that's like, I'm looking at 2 topics for it. So it's only us, right? So it's 4.
Yeah, it's
of us.
4.
So I have like I have like 8 topics that I can share.
But not topic. Okay.
It
So
doesn't
nothing
want-
in depth.
it's not
Just a
about
viewpoint.
what
Yeah,
person
it's
does.
not like, I'm not trying
What do you
to.
think about this? What do you think?
Yeah. So,
Èmi question mo ní tí mo fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ pé.
you go ahead and be a question. Be a question.
As in tí máa ní topic pé okay. Can we
Yeah,
talk
not a
about
topic,
this?
but like something you want us to
Yeah, something I want to bring to the
Address.
table.
What is it?
Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hey, what's up, volleyball girl?
Get
Yo,
us
man.
Yes. Yes.
What did you say?
Coach Sledge. And his family.
And you're wearing your. What did she say?
No, she just said.
She didn't ask you when Kubenga was.
No, she probably thought that he was my dad though, because he was tall and I was Uncle Benga.
Provided I dare.
Oh,
Connect.
oh, daddy.
She's the same there. You know, Madame Milano. Tony Metimo send us, so sent to the weekend.
Oh, Coach Sledge, o ti rí Josh. Èmi ló máa rí.
So what's the topic that I said I wanted to bring?
Aṣíwájú.
Ṣé wọ́n wá jókòó sí sáàdì yẹn torí black ní Nàìjíríà?
Yeah, can mix it. Yeah. So pé èmi ṣe ń gbọ́ pa pé àwọn Nigerians náà wọ́n adopt prenup.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I have a different take on prenup. So, but again, I don't have that type of money. So,
Okay, calm down.
I said I don't have that type of money. So
Does the volume of money have anything to do with the
It's about assets. It's about.
So if at this age, if I was to go marry a chick
Like
in the
that.
village, I'll probably have a little bit of prenup.
Yeah, the asset comes into play, the personality comes into play, the person you're
It's
dealing
the person you're
comes
dealing
into
with,
play.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, but is this something that one should consider before getting married?
I think it depends on where
Speaking
you are,
from
where
our
you're
perspective,
getting married.
from our culture.
So prenup for the longest is the way rich people protect themselves, right? So this is my own take on prenup since I won't be answering any question. I feel like
You won't be answering, you won't give
You
your
talk
view.
now. You
No.
give your view.
I'm interested. So here's my take on
Ah, throw
prenup.
power.
So I feel like for every
Don't need to get consider.
yeah, it would be nice so it won't be too plain.
Brain, yeah.
I feel like for every year
Yeah.
a woman invests in a marriage, I feel like it works something. So if it ends, especially a woman that makes sacrifices, I feel like she shouldn't leave empty handed. So prenups that make people just walk away without anything, I don't think it's good. But that's just talking about average people. Now when you're talking about multi-billionaires like ìyàwó
Alimi.
Amazon, like ìṣòwò làwọn
Yeah,
ẹni.
give me a.
Ìṣòwò làwọn ẹni, owó kọ́ làwọn ẹni
No,
náà.
Bezos, yeah.
Ìyàwó Bezos, she
yeah,
left with so much money, she's
yeah,
doing
I know
charity.
this guy Microsoft.
Exactly, right?
Bill Gates.
Yeah.
You know
I
what
don't
I'm
think
saying?
those ones had prenup.
Prenup.
Because they started early.
They did not.
I
Bill
don't
Gates?
think
They used to work together.
They were like.
Ṣebí
So,
Baba.
ẹ ti ń pè lọ àwọn olówó. From
To
our
me,
own-
I want to
People
the prenup
don't
ní
stem. That's where it stems
Like,
from. That's
I
where
want to
people
the
But
prenup
once
ní
now, this
my
gen, whatever,
$50,000
this
is
our
no big deal.
But even
prenup,
this our Gen Z, wọ́n ti ń gbé dé pé okay, let's have that
They are just
conversation,
blabbing.
like
They are just
transaction.
blabbing. Everybody just want to say something on social media. I want you to need to turn up.
I want to
Yeah,
pariwo.
that's why I'm like,
Exactly.
if you notice when I started talking about it,
What are you trying to achieve?
Sorry.
I wasn't even talking about the
This
soccer
thing
player,
go to
because
the back,
owó
right?
soccer player
There's no way.
play
Yeah,
money.
it's better this way. So just move this.
Owó tí ìyàwó Bizzo ti ṣe, ó ti fi ṣe
It's
charity.
fine, it's
Yeah.
not
Ó
better.
ju owó tí
Ó ló
soccer
gbà wọlé
player.
No, it's
No, I'm good. Ó ju owó tí soccer player ẹ̀ ti rẹ̀ ní gbogbo career lọ. So,
And I don't even think, I think she even has stake, right?
in
Thank you,
Amazon,
Richard.
Yeah, she not that
I think the
good.
Pops invested some kind of money at the beginning. But I remember about the BF phone, Jeff.
So I think, maybe Melinda is one
Wọ́n
of
kà látọ̀
Yeah, so it's Melinda.
Actually,
that-
still has like
I know she received some
Try that
stocks too,
today.
though. She received some Amazon stocks. I don't know if she cashed out already or not, but
Okay.
so I don't
Ṣé mo
talk
lọ lè
pretty.
jẹ́ àbí?
I don't talk
Yeah,
pretty.
but what's okay?
Kí n wá sọ pé ọ̀rẹ́ mi ti-
Actually, that was part of my topic. I just forgot because the soccer
Really?
player guy was going to bring
Yeah.
up. Like, okay, do you think what he did?
But we've not even found the true story.
It says it
There's
right.
so
It
much
was
going
all
on.
speculation
Yeah.
because if you think about it, what sense does it really make for him? One, two, Timame Baxter. If the claim is paid,
It comes back to
it
it.
doesn't have.
It comes back to
This is
it.
Except
the
the
way, so
except
Depends
the
on how-
mother by
how-
the wage structure.
Depending on the will,
Exactly.
how the mother's will is written.
Exactly.
You know, so if she dies,
What
then
if
it
he
comes back to
doesn't?
it.
You know?
Wahala.
Then why didn't he use his dad? Why his mom? So there are a lot of questions.
Maybe Dad was
Was
not
that-
there when he
Responsible.
was.
But no,
Dad will
why
not
not
spend
go
money on side
responsible?
chick now. You saw what Whitney Houston's father did with her money.
What did he do?
Ah, Gogo Bese.
Like Serena Williams' father too. You know, after when he
Oh.
hit it,
So
no,
that's
no,
the
fair.
thing.
The one that don't think back prop, you know what
Ah, so you see why.
You cannot trust the
see
money.
why dads
after
are
they
not
hit it.
trustworthy.
Ó fẹ́ àwọn ọmọ mẹ́kọ̀ọ́ owó Serena àti Venus ló mẹ́kọ̀ọ́ owó fún bàbá wọn.
Gbàtọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ wá fẹ́.
Ẹ náà ó fẹ́ ìyàwó kékeré.
But Baba
It's-
can argue
it's-
too that he
it's
invested
dedication
in
and
that.
time.
Of course, yes, he does.
Because
but-
if they had paid somebody,
Mhm.
right? So I mean, it depends on
Ah,
how you
wọ́n ti ń
count
pè
it.
wá.
Yeah.
Ṣé mi ò fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ lórí chat? Justice, is he out permanently? Or,
No, you
Because
just
I'm
call.
trying to understand.
Yeah,
He
ó dàbí
called.
ìwà sọ perfect.
He called on the. He called.
Yeah.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ fẹ́ lè tẹ́lẹ̀.
Mi ò fẹ́ lé mo kàn
He
mo
called
kàn
pé
fẹ́ understand
òun
mentality
lọ
ẹ̀.
Dallas fún orúkún Màtídé.
Okay, I'm just trying to understand his mentality.
No,
Is it okay? My the
Ṣọ́ọ̀tì wa okay.
You're behind the talk.
My
don't know.
money behind.
Emma,
No,
don't,
yeah.
don't zoom
I
in on
think
me.
this side.
Ibi ẹ̀yìn ẹni.
This one.
Mm-hmm.
Kí ló ṣe
Yeah.
wọ́n?
Oh,
If you can.
I can't see. That's what I was trying to fix in the bathroom.
What's wrong with this?
ó bojú yẹn.
Nah.
The health.
Fún alálìá.
Yes.
Lálìá ṣe máa ń ṣe.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ kó pọ̀.
It's a loud
You know when I was in boarding school, they didn't allow girls to braid their hair to cover their.
Really?
No, yeah, because you're supposed
They
to show your
said
face.
they said
Yeah.
it's sex appeal to it.
You're supposed to
So
show your
what's wrong with that?
face.
You have removed my sex appeal now.
What's your sex appeal?
The sign is supposed
That's
to.
what.
It's still there.
Yeah,
I'm just joking.
Yeah.
It's still there.
Why
No,
don't you do that?
I'm just
Ṣùkú
joking.
àti pàtó nìkan wá.
And this one, they call girl.
Wà á gé irun jẹ́ S1 to 3. And then SS1 to 3, you can either
Let me
give
get through
or
house.
then you get through us.
Èmi dẹ̀ mọ̀ ń pẹ̀rù. Sọ àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ mi ló máa ń sọ̀rọ̀ tí màá pè.
Ẹ̀kọ́ tó bá fẹ́.
Ọ̀tọ̀ máa fẹ́. Health prefect.
Zero now, viewpoint. This is the first episode of the year, right?
Yes. Are you doing training? You're doing.
No, you're not doing the intro.
For what? Why?
Do the intro, John.
Ẹjọ́ tani yóò
Ó
ṣàlẹ̀.
ti yọ gbogbo ẹ̀ gbogbo tó yẹ kó ṣe.
Ó sì tí
Gbogbo
ó ní
bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀
sọ̀rọ̀.
request tó fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀.
I'll give my own opinion. Okay, if it's opinion, I have plenty. I'll give my own opinion. I say opinion. Opinion is like boss
Yes,
of
yes.
everybody else.
Okay, yeah. 5 o'clock. First
Tó
week.
bá
Mr. Joy bẹ̀rẹ̀ o.
kí n ṣe rí ìtọ̀kọ̀ ẹ̀rọ tí.
I don't know, Shay.
Gbẹ́kìn.
Pé kò wọ́n lọ sọ̀rọ̀ welcome to Ringtone.
Ẹ lè bí pre-recorded ni.
Láì láwọ̀ àwọn aláìgbàtẹ̀ kan.
Ẹ máa tanra yín.
I
Ẹ jẹ́ mọ̀ tá a bá ti bẹ̀rẹ̀.
want laughter.
Ṣé
Guys,
ẹ wọ wí màkàrà?
Mo fẹ́ praise.
That's the only time.
Let's be quiet.
Oh, yeah,
So what's it about here? It's the new old outfit first.
Oh,
Yes, exactly. I was begging yesterday to do anko.
You know, I
She said
said
put
it's
it
strong.
What's it for?
What is
Ṣàbọ̀lá ti sọ ọdún ní ẹ̀ka ìlà.
What's it for?
Ẹ ṣe gbọ́ tí mo dárúkọ yín.
Àkàrà yẹn kò ṣe gidi.
Even the
Alright,
supervisor
we're
average efficiency.
Okay.
What do you call it?
Hello, people.
Actually,
What is it now?
We're not like
you start again.
repetition.
Ó ṣe wà lójú ẹ̀mẹ̀.
I'm not there.
À ń gbọ́ mo ní lọ́kàn ìsọ̀ kankan ní.
Minstrel in Korean.
Where's the camera?
Hello, people. Hi, people. Viewpoint 2023, episode 1.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes, we're back. We're back. We're back. We're back. We're back. All right. I know you guys missed us. We miss you guys a little bit. No, we really miss you guys a lot. So, and we're back to give you the first episode of 2023. Unfortunately, fortunately, and unfortunately, I'm not the host. I was just roped into doing this.
You're doing good.
So
You're doing good.
I'm passing it back to the host of today's episode, Akin Akoni.
Alright. Thank you,
Give
thank
it
you,
up,
thank
give
you,
it
thank you. Welcome to Viewpoint 2023
Yes,
edition.
sir.
Even though we're almost halfway through the year, it's our
Mhm.
first episode. We'll try to stay
Oh, good.
consistent for the remainder of the year.
Alright.
So
Try.
today's setup is a little bit different. I know historically we'll have a topic, we'll deep dive into it, and we present our viewpoint. For today's show, the plan is it's kind of like the welcoming edition to 2023. So the plan is just to talk on a few topics, some trending topics maybe, and we provide our viewpoints. The ladies will provide their opinion.
You
and
provide
I'll
yours,
try to be the
right?
masculine
Yeah,
voice.
Well,
I guess.
we'll all give our opinions.
We'll all give our opinions,
Yeah.
and then we'll go from there. So again, we'll try not to dive too
Too
deep into things.
Keep
We'll
it light.
we'll give our opinions, and then we'll go from there. All right. So I'm your host for today, Akin, and I'll start from my right. To do a quick introduction.
My name is Laide. I've been here a few times. It's always a pleasure to come back.
Once you've been here a few times,
I was
you're
here.
part of this.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
not the guest.
It's just that it's just that I've not been here the past few episodes, so just in case
Oh,
I've
yeah, that's
forgotten, so let me
Remind
Apologize
them that
for
I
abandoning you
apologize
guys.
that I've not
And
been
now
here.
she's back.
Now I'm back, and I hope to be consistent.
Amen.
So,
Amen.
Can somebody say amen?
Amen.
Amen.
Well, okay. And to my left.
Okay, I'm Adeshola Okunsimeyin. Yeah.
Ọwọ́ mi rèé o.
A teacher,
Yes,
Minstrel.
I'm part of Viewpoint. Yeah,
I'm
this
in the
is me.
house.
Viewpoint.
Alright.
Alright, let's go.
Okay, we didn't know Viewpoint was a person, but we've just been told
I
Viewpoint.
said this is me, part of Viewpoint. So
I'm
Viewpoint.
not being funny.
Whatever.
Hi people, my name is Oduma Kirele. Like you know, we keep it real, we keep it honest, we give you our views, and this is Viewpoint.
All right. So let's get into it. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
Yes, and then to the other side.
And yes.
And
then to the other side.
own is not
This
milestone.
is 13.
Your own is not milestone.
Oh yeah, that's
So you
true.
do not
That's
put me on the honest
So,
spot.
you know.
I was feeling good before, but now I'm scared.
Yeah.
Nah, don't be scared.
No,
I was
no,
actually
it
doing
is,
some
yes,
research.
That's what-
yes.
you
Now
just
we
get
got
very
your
rich.
point.
There's
We
not-
just said
there's
that
actually-
nothing is the
there's
fruit,
actually-
so-
Yeah, there's nothing to be scared
Thank
about.
God.
So happy belated birthday.
Thank you. Thank
Welcome
you.
to the 4th floor. How does it feel?
Cash not cause it let you feel like a 40.
It's not easy. It's
So
not,
I'm
it's not
officially-
easy something.
Oh, thank God.
He feels good. He feels
Okay.
it feels good. I don't know. I mean, I still don't know what the whole
You get to wake up and
about
make your bed.
it. I guess, right? But there is one thing. I don't know if I'm jumping the gun here, but I was told, I was warned, and it's really happening that when you
Okay.
hit that 40, you just don't send it.
You don't. I'm
Like,
telling you.
Yeah.
You just
It's
do not
like-
send anybody's
I,
passport.
Yes,
I think it comes naturally.
Yes,
like,
yeah.
You just be like,
This
okay,
is
this
life.
is me. This is life. This
Yeah.
is I'm doing it my way.
It's a
like,
kind of freedom
yeah.
that age gives you. Like you get to a
Yeah.
certain age, you're just like
Right.
like,
Yeah.
nobody can beat me.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
do whatever you
Almost
want
as
to
if
say.
you
Yeah.
just break free and
Free,
you're like,
yeah.
you know what?
and you want to live your life.
I'm
Live
actually
your life.
yes, like I really need to start living for me now.
Yes.
You
Nice.
know, it'll be too late.
And then you don't really have tolerance for nonsense.
I know
I
you
noticed
just
that
call
too.
BS when
You
see,
just
be like,
exactly, you know.
And you ignore some things
Yeah,
that you
you
give
don't-
attention
yeah.
to, that
Right.
you used to give attention
right,
to.
yeah, yeah.
So you said you want to live your life now, right?
like
so you're
some
going
kind
to
of
the party
shit.
with us tonight.
Well, we'll talk after service.
That's a good one. That's a
So-
good way to just get
Adeshola is over here recruiting for
a party.
for one good things. So I'm sure, like, you know, your 20s and your 30s, even in your teens, you probably have like goals set. Like, oh, by the time I know I used to have goals set. By the time I'm 25, I want to do this. Anything in particular? What's your focus in your 40s? Like, what are you trying to focus on? Mine is like really, mine is good health. Mine is good health. I've talked about extending grace a lot. You know,
Oh,
so
yeah.
those are the things
That's
that I'm
right,
working
that's
on.
right,
So
that's
for
right.
40, what are
Yeah,
some
and
things?
Yes, I do have one of that, like the good health thing. It's
Mhm.
just that you just realize that the body is not as forgiving anymore.
Yeah.
Like the
Ah.
things you could do
And get away
and
with.
get away with,
Yeah.
and you still bounce back. You know,
Mhm.
I started swimming. It's been maybe 4 or 5 weeks now.
Nice. How's
Oh,
that
that's
going?
good.
Not good.
What part of it?
Like,
What part of it?
Every time I go, I feel like
You're not floating.
I can float and I
That's
can
good.
do the back float really good.
Okay.
But I can't kick for too long. Like my body just says, "This is water. This is you.
Start feeling-
It's not supposed to be together." And I
Mhm.
just start, But my point is, I can't. I just swim for 20 minutes and I'm tired for the rest of the
Are
day.
you
It's
tired
good
of
cardio.
skating? Because the thing is,
yeah.
as you age, the risk you take when you're younger, you don't just
Yeah.
that
Exactly.
free to
You're
take it
Yeah.
not
anymore.
free to take it.
Yeah.
Like
Just
I used to be very adventurous, like go on all this sand dune ride and everything. But then the last time I went on Six Flags, my goodness,
you were like,
I was like, I don't know, I
Very message.
and me that I don't care. I used to be
yeah.
the more dangerous it is, the more fun it is for me. But with age, I just found out that
That
no,
adrenaline rushing.
like I don't want to die.
No,
No.
I really want to be around for a while.
Exactly.
I like a good
You know?
adrenaline rush as long as I'm aware and I'm
Yeah.
like, so anything that has to do with elevation. So like we went ziplining when we went to Mexico. It was fun, but every time you look down, you're like,
Yeah.
this is it, you know. So
I think the
Um,
more you grow, the more conscious you become of your mortality.
Yeah,
and just
true.
like-
Yeah.
but the thing with swimming though, because I started, I think about 5 or 6 months ago, and you're tired for the dinner, I'm tired for the week. Like once I go, like that 20
It is
minutes,
really good
they
workout.
wear you out.
Yeah.
It's good cardio.
Yeah,
so,
it is, yeah.
so I'll say keep pushing, you know.
Yeah, definitely, because
The health
my
is very
kids, my
important.
kids will shame me if I
Yeah.
don't.
And
So.
they will talk.
And the other thing is, I want to be more intentional,
Okay.
and not just about like for my health, my career, and even just being a mom, being a wife, being a sister, being a daughter, like every space
Being a
that
friend.
being a friend, you know.
You used to call me a lot before you became 40.
Uh-huh.
But that's
God is even better.
Interestingly, I got a hit
That is
40
the
and
extreme.
life became busy. Like things
A
are
lot-
just
a lot
coming
more
at me
busy.
from like
I'm just
different.
joking.
Yes, but I'll find the.
But you know it's
balance.
part of joke that you know the truth.
You know the
Yeah,
truth,
yeah,
guys. Yeah, that's
It's
about-
English,
I know,
yes.
I know. But again, it's trust me, I have a long list
Yeah.
of people I need to keep in touch
When
with.
it rains,
But yeah,
Course, right?
just being intentional, I would say, about everything, even about my walk with God,
Oh yeah.
there are some things I realized that I was doing because they were required. Like, like I was doing it because I didn't want to appear like, I'm not doing it, I'm not slacking. But
It didn't
my
please other
intentions
people.
were not,
Strong.
what they
Not
should be,
justified,
right?
yeah.
So now I want to be more intentional about, okay, if I want to do something, I want to commit to it. And if I'm not going to commit to it, I'm not going to care. It goes back to not caring about, I'm just not
Yeah.
going to care about,
Yeah.
and just,
No sentiment.
drop it. Yeah,
Cool,
so.
cool, cool. Well, I hope the 40s brings you more delight. Their
Amen.
achievements in-
I'm
in
here for
Jesus'
it.
name.
Amen.
Amen.
So Odun, I'll bounce it to you. Real talk has been great all year. Like I've always tuned in.
Oh
I've
yeah.
been
In
blessed.
fact,
She's on a
because
good topic
AC
right now.
AC's
yeah,
reflection
yeah.
is always there.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
Saturday. Like that means a
But
lot.
I
That means
appreciate
a
it.
lot.
No,
Thank you for
very
I'm
much.
learning a lot too,
Yeah.
and the focus on good marriage this
Yeah, it's
year.
been a good
Yeah,
time.
this
I
year.
think-
Some of us will not be there,
Seriously.
but we watch.
I
Yeah, I
just know
know.
that I will be coming back. Like,
I think
it's been impactful.
I think the world needs it, right?
Mm.
And,
Yeah.
and in terms of, I think there's a lot of energy and focus on the
Bad
marriages
marriages,
that are not
yeah.
working,
Yeah.
and we don't hear a lot about good
It's
marriages,
a
you
good
know.
idea
So,
to talk about.
and I don't know if you guys have caught the Michelle Obama
Yeah.
Oprah interview, where she was
Yeah.
talking
Being you,
about.
I will.
Yeah.
Yeah, where she was talking about, people are giving up on marriages
Mhm.
and that, you have 30 years of marriage, and to her, if she has 20 good years out of the 30,
It's
that
good.
to her, like, that's good marriage.
Yeah.
So, being that, that's the focal point
Mhm.
of your show this year, I just want to hear everybody's opinion around, do we agree with, 66.666% success rate as being good marriage?
Okay, for me, the truth of the matter is, I don't think there's any 100% good marriage.
Mhm.
Like what I have learned with these couples that I've been bringing is the intentionality to actually make sure you're giving it your best.
Mhm.
Right now, after you gave it your best, don't always dwell on the bad. There will be good days, there will be bad days. But then in fact, I remember there was a time, I think I brought a couple, and they were like, they've never sat down and do this before. And that the fact that they sat down to do it gave them memory of when it was good.
Mm.
So, and then I was not like, oh, that actually made me say, okay, let me do it. Because then, getting men to come on the show with their wife, it's been very, very challenging.
Interesting.
Very, very challenging.
Men don't
But
like
then-
the vulnerable.
Oh no, they
and
don't want to
that's
come. They
things.
don't want to sit down and do that. That was what I told that guy. I said, okay, you telling me this. It was actually a guy that said it, and I was like, that is actually a very good thing, because now I can think that when you're going through that rough patch, you can still sit down, set your phone, and just talk about the good times, and just
Yeah.
Ring light.
Yeah.
turn on the ring lights and just talk about the good times and just laugh. Now, for me personally, like on today's episode, there were a lot of things that I was thinking about. That okay, if I had had this conversation before, maybe I'll still be married. Because of the things she said. Some things she said, I saw myself in a lot of
The
things she was
personality
saying.
trait.
Yes,
yeah.
and I was telling myself that okay, maybe if I'd had this conversation before, maybe I'll still be married. So those are parts of the reasons why I decided to do this. Take from this, take from that. There's no know-all. You might think you were right then, but then when someone else now gives you another perspective, or now tell you, oh, this is what I did differently, you could have just asked yourself, maybe.
It's funny because
Hearing that,
what you're
yeah.
actually talking about, to me, that's the definition of growth in
Yeah.
you, right?
Yeah.
That is you
Like
growing,
seeing,
and
Yeah.
seeing,
that is you
seeing,
maturing.
Yeah.
what the problem was.
Self-reflection.
Self-reflection,
Yeah.
accountability.
Yeah.
Adjusting
Yeah.
to,
Yeah.
Exactly.
And just not holding on to, I was right then, I was right. And I think it's for everybody.
Yeah.
Because at times you might think you're right, but you are not actually
You're
right
right
until
for
you
now.
talk to someone else. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Additional thoughts?
Yeah, she said it all. I'm just gonna add to what she said. Intentionality
Yeah.
is the key. Our group, the intentional marriage. All right, so there are good marriages actually, and
You've been on the show. So.
I've been on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and good. To talk about good marriages doesn't mean that there are no ups and downs.
Challenges.
Even as you mature in your marriage, as you grow, you're still gonna have those ups and downs.
Mhm.
And the intentionality plays in when you yourself discover yourself in that marriage, like she mentioned, like discovering that, if I'd known this, maybe I wouldn't have made this decision. Yeah, so it's the same in marriage. Be intentional about yourself, about your spouse, about seeing the good in the marriage. And for example, we had some not deep issues this past 2 weeks, myself and Josh, but I just overlooked. It's just hearing this for the first time. I overlooked some things. I just ignored, and I later discovered that I was intentional, and I rediscovered myself that I think you're growing. I think you're growing.
And I think that's
for
for
you to be able
everybody.
to-
Just
I just
take
told him
stock.
we need to
Absolutely.
talk.
Take
But
stock.
he's been asking me, so
Yeah.
what I was going to talk about, but I was still working on myself. Like, we'll talk about it, but I just don't want to
Get to
be
a
shut
place
out
where you are
before.
not emotional. Yeah.
I drop them like that.
Drop
But,
it like that.
yeah, I thought
Oh,
about
that's
it.
a massive growth. Talking from Shola,
Yeah.
that's a massive growth because if you know
I
Shola,
will.
Shola will just give you the way she is. The way she's feeling is the way she'll just drop it.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I just.
So that's huge
I see where I
growth.
would get that.
Yeah, she will just drop it. She'll just tell you.
So what are-
yeah,
what- what
God
are- what are
help
your
us. There
thoughts?
are good marriages,
Sorry.
anyways.
Yeah,
Good
I
marriages.
agree. What are
Good
your
marriages
thoughts?
that takes two people to work at it. Let's
One
say
person
that.
can do it.
One person cannot.
One person-
Yeah,
one
yeah,
person
you
can
can't-
do it.
mutual.
Yeah.
You can't be in a
One person
marriage
can
all
do it.
by yourself.
Yeah.
And this goes back to the conversation I was actually having with your wife yesterday and another friend. And we're just talking about good marriages. Interestingly, I don't know why it's coming back to back for me now. And, we were talking about how people just seem to give up very all the stuff about you. But we're just talking about how people seem to, the change from our parents' generation where women seem to have taken a whole lot in the name of staying in a marriage, whether it was good or bad, to now where people don't even have any patience. Like everybody's
Two
just giving
extremes.
up very quickly,
Yeah.
and we're talking about. And I said, for me, as long as there's no abuse of
Yeah.
any sort
Yeah.
in going on, then you can walk
How
through
far
the
I'm done.
bad patch. As long as you're both committed to
Yeah.
making it work, and that's
Yeah.
where it comes to not being in
In
it
it
all
alone.
by yourself. As long as you know, I may not like you right now.
You don't even love people
I don't want
every
to talk
time.
to you right
Yeah.
now, but we are working towards something together.
Yeah.
Goals are still
Yeah.
aligned,
Yeah.
so we would,
Yeah.
rough our way through this and try and find another place where we can come together and move. So for me, that tells me that you can't have, like she said, 100% good marriage. You can't have it all smooth all the years. That'll be the 7 years of
Yeah.
plenty and
Yeah.
maybe
There will
hopefully not
be
7
days
years
that
of
you will
hopefully-
hate
yeah.
yourself.
Hopefully
You
less.
cannot stand
That's what I'm
yourself.
saying.
24 hours.
Like you say, I don't
Yeah.
like you right
I
now.
don't like you right now. Yeah.
That's why you need to
Yeah.
discover
Yeah.
yourself. That
Exactly.
okay, so can I take this if somebody does this to me? Can I take it? So why am I doing this to?
It
Yeah.
takes a whole lot of growth and maturity
Yeah,
to
yeah,
get to
right.
that point where you can do a 360 degrees view of everything.
Everything.
going on.
Yeah.
We tend to be tunnel vision and be like, because I know my heart,
Mm.
then I feel justified in my actions. But you don't understand that the other person does not know your heart and you don't know the other person's heart. So
Yeah, and then one
expecting
other
that
thing,
person
like
you need to
today, on
make
today's episode,
accommodations for that.
when she was talking about the fact that she discovered the problem they were having in the first 5 years was because she was projecting.
It's those first 5 years.
It's
She was
not.
projecting.
It's
It
those
was
They
like,
say-
yeah,
Usually wants to
if
make
you
it
survive
7 and 8.
Yes.
Yeah,
Things
but
like
I
that.
think-
well, there's a 7-year each too.
Yeah, I mean, there's 10 each.
And then, I think
And
there's
I was actually
Yeah.
bringing that up because I have discovered that giving room for each other's individuality will help us a lot. The issue is I want you to do things the way I do things.
Yeah.
I want you to react to this thing the way I react to it.
Yeah.
And then that's where the issue is. Like I said, like when she was talking, I was quiet a lot. I was just doing. I had Uncle Josh when he was doing. But because this she was saying,
laughing
was
at her.
touching, it was
yes,
hitting
it was
the-
eating
yeah, spot.
some things in me. Yes, and I'm just like, okay, even though I do that, I extending grace.
Yeah.
Extending grace to now just say, okay, maybe this person is not wired like me. So I shouldn't expect this person to react the way I would react. And that will actually help a lot. If you can
And
just
it will
think
help the other
Oh,
person.
that, yes. You will even your peace of mind.
Yeah. And another thing we need to also, we tend not to allow or give accommodations is not understanding how that person is also feeling at that point in time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you assume that because I'm feeling this way, you're not taking time to be like, okay, is this person even in this space to be
with
having
me?
this conversation with me right
Yeah.
now? Or is it dealing with something else? Is she dealing with something else?
I think we've had that conversation before, and I want to believe that contributed to your growth too. Like this, I want to have this conversation now,
Yeah.
irrespective of what that other person is going through.
And once,
Which is
once
can be
I'm able
selfish
to have that
sometimes.
conversation, I'm okay.
You're okay.
And I will not be
Because all you
laughing
care,
with the
all you
person.
care is
But the thing is,
About
when we
you,
taking
yeah.
something
About
away.
you.
I mean, I mean, I have a similar personality, so it's about I need to offload this.
Yes,
This burden
exactly.
is weighing me down.
Yeah.
I need to offload it. Once I
Exactly.
offload it, I'm good. The question is, the person
Is she
I'm
ready
offloading
for
it
you
to,
to
receive
are
it
they
and
ready
to
receive
receive,
at
yeah.
that particular
Yeah.
point, you know.
Because
So,
if whatever is full,
yeah, so
just keep
there's
trying.
nowhere to
We
put it.
just keep
Yeah,
trying.
we just.
So the way I see it, just to kind of wrap everything together and put a bow, like the way I see everything is, it's two becoming one, and the process of becoming, right? That's where we're learning each other and things like that, right? And then one thing I'll do mention, the Bible says count your blessings, name them one by one, right? And I think we need to do that in marriages as well.
Yeah.
It's, count your blessings, name them one by one.
Mhm.
And what works for me, at least, that I try to work on is, number one, not to forget the reason why I fell in love with this person, right? So regardless of whether she gained 50 pounds, whether she doesn't have any, whatever that she might be dealing with, right? Is look, I fell in love with this
Why did I
person
fall in love?
for a particular for a particular
As long
reason.
as you know for the
Yeah.
what has changed.
That means
Whatever
that will change,
reason,
right?
yeah,
So,
whatever
like, so
reason.
whatever, like,
Yeah.
exactly, the
As much as you want
non-physical,
to
right?
trivialize the physical, there are some people that is why.
Yeah, but I
You
don't.
set yourself
Yeah.
up for
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Yeah.
You're setting yourself as the person.
And that's why they have
Yeah.
end up having issues.
Yeah.
That is their reason.
Yeah. And then
Which
the
to
second,
them is valid.
yeah. And then the second thing is that, I think we've both made the commitment that nothing can be bigger than our marriage, which is nothing. Like, name that what that thing is, right? We should try to make sure that nothing is bigger than our marriage. And
Sorry, before you go to the next
Yeah,
one,
go
there's
ahead.
one other thing that I took out of today's show. I'm sorry if you're talking too much about it.
Go watch Real Talk.
Okay. Yeah. What he said, the man said was he had a forgiveness bank.
Oh yeah. I heard
You remember? He said he told himself to have a forgiveness bank.
That's intentionality.
That's
right there.
intentionality. That no matter what she did, I'll keep withdrawing from the bank. I needed to tell people that. Like I said, it was a lot of. They were very calm, but the way they were
I mean, they are
talking.
mature people.
They've been married for 25
Yeah,
years.
they're
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just needed to point that out, a forgiveness bank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At what point did he get that though?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'd
he
like to
described
know.
him, like the way he started off, he said he's usually a very quiet person and he doesn't like stress. He said he doesn't like wahala. The wife likes wahala. And so she's like, because of him, she had to tame that wahala. Now, that's another thing. Aki said, why am I in love with this person? For someone to say, I'm going to tame my wahala because of my husband, there must be substance to that.
Yeah.
And so she was, yeah. So he said he's not a very, he doesn't like trouble, he doesn't like, he doesn't
Hence
talk.
the forgiveness back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so but he
Works
told
for
himself
him,
that I'm
works
marrying
for
this
somebody.
woman. So whatever this woman does, I'm going to forgive her. He actually said I forgive her
I
head.
heard. Okay now.
Which is even deeper.
Deeper, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, still staying on the topic of marriage. So, I came across something on social media. So, I'll read this and then we can talk about it, right? So, Keith and Tamika recently married. Tamika is a neurosurgeon and she earns $400,000 a year. Keith is a manager at Finish Line, it's a shoe store, and he earns $44,000 a year. After the wedding that she paid for, Keith moves into Tamika's house. She buys him a new Lexus to replace his old Honda Accord. I like Honda Accord. And even pays for a 2-week honeymoon to Jamaica. Keith loves Tamika with all his heart and vice versa. And they are happy together. But all Tamika's family and friends say is,
You
She's
have
so
their money.
so thoughts when the female earns more. I mean, so I used to say that it's okay if my wife earns more than me as long as I'm within this income bracket. 44 grand ain't for me. No way my wife is earning 400,000. But he's 44, she's 400. I don't
Okay,
feel about that.
I'm gonna be a bit vulnerable, yeah, because it's, for me and my ex-husband, it was like that. I was earning more. I was
Okay.
doing well. I foot the wedding. I did everything for the wedding. It backfired because when I ran out of cash was when we started having issues. So it's actually two sides. Now, what happened when Tamika was out of cash?
Tamika is a neurosurgeon. She
You
good.
know she will never be out of cash.
She
But
good.
would we actually know if Kid is genuinely in love with her?
Well, I mean, the article did say they're happy.
Yeah.
So
You
let's
know-
let's assume everything is good. Let's assume they're both in
Intentions
love.
are good.
It's about outside people, right? Calling
The
her.
influence.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what were they saying? What were they talking about? But because in my own case, there were outside people saying things that I wasn't ready to listen to.
Okay.
Do you understand? So what were they saying? What are they
I
saying?
didn't prepare for
I
this.
think-
prepare
We
for
want
this
to
opportunity.
address it on the surface about
Let's
outside-
address it on the surface in terms of with the income gap. As long as happiness exists,
Yeah.
is there a problem with it?
Regardless
Because if it was
of-
vice
It depends
versa,
on them.
if it was the
Depends on
guy-
both of them.
if it was the guy making 400 and the chick
Oh,
was
no,
making,
of course it's
this one will be a
It won't
topic,
be a- it won't be
Yeah.
an issue, right?
But for me, I think it depends on the both of them.
okay?
If the
But
both
they're
of
both
them,
happy though.
if they're happy, then you don't need to listen to any other person.
Exactly.
I-
So
I-
regardless of what they're saying,
Yeah.
like the third party is
Yeah.
saying,
Until
you
something
have your
happens.
peace, you're
Yeah.
happy together, as in you. What else?
I know. I
Disregard.
think that, in addition to that, so I completely agree with both of you. Same with when a man marries a woman that is for,
The
it's-
4400.
it may not even be income gap, there's some kind of gap,
Yeah.
and people are
Yeah.
But
making
there's
cycle.
usually gaps in
Yeah.
marriages, yeah.
Well, sometimes it's so huge that, it becomes an
It's
issue.
obvious, yeah.
I think as long as, and you can't tell what the intention of this disadvantaged in quote person is in that marriage, but as long as it's true, there's also a responsibility on the person that is more privileged to protect the less privileged person.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you know for sure,
Yeah.
which again I go back to you can't know
That you're
But-
genuine.
that you're genuine, but again, there'll always be some red flags you can choose to overlook, or you can choose to see that, figure it out, or you can be so in love that it covers.
Okay, the
multitude of
red flag thing. I know a lot of people use the word red flag, but for me, I think there are fixed variables, even with red flags.
Yeah.
Now, like the red flags is, what are the things that I can live with? Those are your fixed variables. What are the things that I cannot live with?
No, so for me, when I say red flags, I don't mean we all have our flaws and weaknesses. When I say red flags, are things that are telling you this person is with me for this reason.
Can you live with it? That's what I'm saying about the fixed variables.
Then,
Even though I know you're with me for these reasons, can I live with it?
then you have to go a step further and say, if that changes, if what I represent to this person changes, can I handle what
The
will
return will
come
come after.
But if to me it's all love based, right? If the love is if the love is
there's no love there, man.
not too many people can out earn the neurosurgeon. Let's just keep it real, right? So unless you are saying Tamika
What
should
if
give
something
up.
happens
that-
to
but
her?
that
Anything
gap
can
And
happen.
she could, anything can happen. Life
Yeah.
can happen.
That's why I said love is what is important. Like so
You said not everybody.
I'm talking about
I
the
think there's
earning.
nobody
So
that can
you didn't-
out-
you didn't-
out-
you didn't
run out
let
of
me- you didn't let me
that they
finish.
can run out of.
You did
can-
not
they
let me
can.
finish my
Because she's
statement.
a
I said so. Yeah. So what I was saying is, I've lost my chain of thought.
Oh, yeah.
So like, not too many people can out earn a
The
neurosurgeon,
neurosurgeon.
Yeah.
So
right?
that issue would be there.
But so are we saying Tamika should give up on love?
So this is what I would
No.
say, which was the part I was-
Sorry, like what we're addressing is the out earning a neurosurgeon. We are saying
Anything
life
can
can
happen.
happen. Anything can happen to her.
That's
She
why
stops
that's why I
earning.
started my statement with as long as there's love. Because even if you stop earning, then oh boy should know that okay, well,
Yeah, so
my
this
44,000 is about to
Yeah, so
Do
this,
what?
this was
exactly
where,
right.
This was what I was actually the point I was trying to make. So when I said she needs to protect him, so it gets to the point where you then sit down. Like when a man marries a woman that is not educated, they say, "Why don't you send her to school?" So why does
They
it?
don't
Why
say
don't?
we just
To empower.
we just do.
To empower.
So when you know it's an issue, why don't you then sit down as a couple and be like, "I'm earning this much, you're earning this much. We need to bring it closer. What can we do? What can we invest in? What can you do?"
Close the
To
gap.
close this gap so it stops becoming an issue. But if
Okay,
you start
like, but
Tamika
that,
is
if
there
it is an
to-
issue, but from what you said, it's not an issue for them. It's just the family.
But
yeah.
humans,
They might not even see it as an issue.
So I think
But in a
I-
way,
I-
it might be affecting them, but they're not just reflecting
Giving it
like,
life.
yes.
early on in the marriage is cute, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
I think down the
First
line,
5 years.
just
We just
just-
It
talked
can
about
even be up to 5 years.
just as
before
a man,
it
like
starts.
okay, so just as an example, right? So you have a lady that makes almost $500,000. She's used to the finer things in life. And then you have the guy that makes whatever. It's her birthday.
Yeah, you know what? Exactly.
It's either you're using her money to surprise
surprise
her.
her.
Oh, you're
Yes,
doing
that.
something that is less than what she's used to.
Exactly. Which, again, is cute. Hey, I picked these flowers for you from the
From the
garden.
wild
Nice
bush.
gesture.
From the wild
It's
bush.
cute. 10 years into it, it's like this mom here, right?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, another flower from the garden. Like, come on, you know.
Can we just try?
Exactly. You
You
know.
buy
but-
yourself a gift and put it in the sky.
We do see
Ah,
that.
Lord, you
Oh
know,
yeah. You buy yourself a gift and put it in
Exactly.
And
the
I
sky.
think personality plays a role too
Mm.
in that. You know,
Yeah.
probably the lady's personality or the guy's personality, but whoever earns more, the personality of the person plays, a huge role.
Okay, I
And your
want to
mentality.
even now say something, right? Like, even if I'm earning more than you, like you said, what are you doing to come up? You know, what are you? Because the thing is, I think the issue is when you are just stuck on your 44. Do you understand what I'm saying? You know, there are some guys that get so comfortable.
Yeah.
You feel like, why do I even need to stop the 44? But then for me, they will have an issue, and I think that was actually my own issue too. Like, there's no desire
To even, especially for
to
a
just,
man.
yes. And then for a woman that you grew up in a traditional setting, that it's the man that does it.
takes care.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You just feel like, what are you doing?
I just remember that
Yeah.
I have like a plain example
Yeah.
like that happened between to myself and Josh while we were in Georgia. I believe Josh is comfortable with me sharing this. So
We'll find out tonight.
is
Other producer.
yeah, and of course it's actually what we're discussing. I would say I was earning more, but I wasn't seeing it like it was me that was earning, like we were earning together. But I remember his partner then, his business partner, was like, population and you are doing daycare. You are doing it because I was just juggling a lot of things together, and I was doing my master's. But there was something he was doing. It wasn't earning, but it was supporting me.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
daycare.
Anyway.
Me, I'm not a technology expert like that,
Expert.
guru like that. But it was supporting me. It would help me do the accounts, the records and all that. And when I go for my teaching practice, it's there helping me with praise, helping me doing a lot of things,
Exactly.
supporting me.
Yeah.
But
So you don't feel it.
I really didn't feel it.
That's
But
really.
to some of to friends that were close to us, they're like, it's like your husband is just old, I
You
Just
knew what
chilling
you
on
were
the
doing.
couch.
Yeah.
You
knew what
how
was
they
doing.
care, but
And people
I was
talk.
feeling
people
even
talk.
like when during my master's graduation, I told him, it's your graduation because you're the one that did everything. He did everything like yeah, but so it's the understanding, personality, and your orientation.
And once you know your person is not a lazy person, it becomes irritating when he's a
Yeah.
lazy person. That's what I'm trying to say. If that person is lazy, I know someone that we were just stuck on that thing. The wife was advancing, educating herself, doing things,
Okay.
but you were
It's
just
just
sitting down on,
stagnant.
yes. So then it becomes an issue. They want to come with the personality of him being a phlegmatic. But all I can say that.
To me, these are things that should be ironed out. Why
Yeah, and
are
it's so-
dating, man,
There's so many
so-
factors that then
Yeah.
start to form it.
Yeah.
That's why you're
Yeah.
dating. Some things would not, you would not actually view it like this would happen. Like,
Yeah.
Life just
yeah,
comes
there are
out.
stages of, of
I feel like for a man,
Yeah.
I can't speak for females, but for a man, there are indicators that can tell that okay, this one is complacent, right? And that's one thing you have to be careful about is okay, has he worked hard and he's just taking a break,
Exactly.
or is
You'll
just
see
It's the
it.
new
You will
pattern.
see it.
yeah, you always see, you
Yeah.
always
You'll
see,
see.
you always see
You
it
will
in
know.
men. Like there's even a level of discomfort
yeah.
as a guy
Exactly.
while
You
you are
should
going
have.
through that phase.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And,
Yes.
and again, you should, like, from
Yeah.
conversations, I mean,
Yeah.
gosh, I think when I met my wife, I think I was, what, 37, 39, was what I was earning.
You were
But-
old, so,
I was old too, exactly.
You're old.
So, like, you know, so at what, 27, earning 39,000. But from conversations, I'm sure she could tell that, okay, well, this one is not complacent.
Yeah, it's
right?
not ready to stay at this level.
level,
It
yeah.
was just, it's just, and then when you listen
It
to
has
the
a
story
future.
of how it got here, you be like, you know what, life hasn't really been kind
To
to
him.
this one, but
Mm.
man, once it gets a
Awesome.
breakthrough,
Yeah.
you know,
It's a
the
story.
sky's
Yeah, and I
the
think
limit,
that's actually
you know.
it's actually major with because most times people just want to come out with she's earning more and that's why she's misbehaving, that's why she's doing this. But it's more maybe she has, given him a lot of room to catch up. And he's not catching up. And then for a woman most of the time you tend to get irritated. And then once you are irritated, you start acting out.
Yeah.
You start acting out. So the issue is not the 44. The issue is what are you doing to leave that 44?
44
to
is
maybe
just,
get to 88.
44 is just a reflection.
I know,
Get to 100 or something.
Yeah,
you know.
44 is just a reflection.
And there's another thing about it. How are you even spending the money of
The 44
the 400,000 that you're now earning if you're putting it together in the same pot? I mean, the story of Wendy Williams comes to my head,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I
And
finally seeing this guy just go spending money out there.
for colored
Wow.
girls,
Family
it's
Even
child apparent that
if
we're
he's
watching
spending his own
yesterday.
money,
Oh,
he'll
okay.
take his own.
No,
He
still
wasn't
making
making
that
it off, but he went in and
No, but it's not supposed to
just
have
taking
money if he
money
was
anyhow.
doing the right thing
Yeah.
to be able to do
Yeah.
those things. So yeah.
Alright, so this
Okay,
brings
awesome.
me to kind of like the next topic. So since Tamika is already 44, let's talk about prenup.
Okay.
So, yeah. So let's talk about prenup.
Yeah.
You know, I'll get yours.
She didn't have a prenup, but it's just because we talked about it before the show. That's why I said Shola.
So,
Well.
like, you know, prenup agreement made between two people before they get married on how things will be divvied up.
In the
In
eventuality
the
that
event that things
Now,
On
one
the
more time,
rights
don't
to property.
work out. In
Yeah.
my own opinion, if you're not sitting on heavy money,
it's a waste of
just,
time.
just leave prenup alone, I beg. But, and so, in terms of prenup, like, the people that comes to mind for me is the Jeff Bezos of the world, like, heavy hitters. There was a owner of a soccer club in England, I can't remember, is that Euroshire, I can't remember his name, that, I don't think it was, owner,
Yeah.
that wrote his wife a check for $1 billion after divorce.
Okay, man. It could be wrong.
Yeah.
Abramovich
I
owned
got-
in Chelsea.
Maybe it
So was
a-
that an agreement or he just
It was not an agreement,
decided
just to leave me alone and get out
And
of
Just
there.
pay off.
Pay off.
Yeah.
And she won't go.
Wow.
And that's why, like, so when we're talking
$1 million
earlier,
is
when we're
a lot
talking
of
about prenup earlier, like, when I think of prenup, I always think of billionaires, really.
Yeah.
And maybe 100,
Not
100
the anime,
millionaires.
what's that one?
Not the soccer guy that gave everything to his mom,
But, you know,
allegedly.
so what happens when you're Mark Zuckerberg and you're dating someone, you didn't know that Facebook was going to become what it was, you got married early,
And so you didn't do
you
it.
didn't have money at the time you were getting married, so you didn't do no prenup.
Sorry.
So should prenup be a conversation before you get married? Like, should it be?
Okay, so
Talk about our culture. Don't talk about all these
let's
rich
put it this
It
way.
should
Let me
be.
throw it to y'all. Single, 25, 26, you're talking to a guy, you're feeling him, and it's like, oh, by the way, if I marry you, you have to sign your prenup. What's your take?
You know, the first thing that came to my mind is I'll be like,
Knowing is 1,000 years.
Okay, no, let's come
and
down to our
that's
level.
something you're not telling me.
Let's
But
talk about this
jokes apart, I've thought about that thing a lot of times. Like, how do people feel when they say, okay, I want to marry you, I love you, I want to spend the rest of my life with you, or sign this paper and kiss? And I think there are two ways to look at it. As a woman, you're thinking, okay, so you already have plans, like you have backup plans. Your intentions are not pure in this case.
You have insurance, but your intentions are trade.
But on the other hand, you're thinking, if I say I don't want to sign this thing, Am I giving the impression that
That
I'm
you're
a
gold digger.
I'm a gold digger?
Mhm.
So it takes a lot of personal reflection. Personally, I don't know what I'll do, and that's my honest truth. I don't know what I would do if that happened to me, because if I really love the guy and he's coming up with a prenup, he's going to start sowing seeds of doubt in me too, to think, okay, maybe I need to, cover
Go
my
back.
own,
You
But
can
if
topple the
he's a
relationship.
player that I know that this guy, he can do things afterwards that I may not be happy. Okay, let's have a prenup that says if you cheat, then I get
Eh,
That clause,
so-
because
so-
that's exactly what I'm saying.
That
That
clause-
That clause will
right?
be
It's
added
always
to it.
there's always a
Because
clause.
that's
Yeah.
that's the part that
Yeah.
I feel most maybe females are not educated about. It's
Mhm.
like, okay, wait, you want a prenup? I'll
There's
give you
not
a
give
a
you the
prenup,
prenup.
but it has to be.
I'll give you
If
the
you
prenup.
It has to
you
be
abuse
friendly,
me,
I'm taking
right?
everything.
Exactly.
If you end the relationship
Yeah.
for infidelity,
Yeah.
abuse, or whatever,
Yeah.
I'm taking half.
Taking
Yeah.
You know, and if for
And then you still
whatever
be
reason,
paying me child
child support
and
or spousal support or
Yeah,
whatever it is.
child support doesn't flow into like regardless you pay now or like if you take
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah,
oh, when you see good lawyers, they'll bake everything into that
Oh.
half that you're
Those
taking.
lawyers,
Yeah.
Okay,
They
so
do earn
for
their
me, I've actually thought about it a lot of times, but
Mhm.
because of the kind of a person that I am, I've always believed in my hand.
Mm.
You know, I'm this woman that wants my own money.
Okay.
That's the truth. I'm not fixed on a guy's money.
Mhm.
So I've always told myself, you want a prenup, I'm going to sign the prenup.
Mhm.
But my own condition will be on it as well.
Fair.
That's the way I have
Yeah.
always told
Yeah.
myself. Like you said, the cheating thing will go on there. You raise your hand at me, we are done.
You abuse
And
And
I'm
I'm
taking
taking
my-
everything.
Everything.
I'm taking everything.
So I don't have an issue signing
Yeah.
the prenup. But my own condition will be there. Because first and foremost, the way you meet me, God said, you're meeting me with my own money.
So that means let me throw a little thing. So you meet Jeff Bezos, someone that you know, and he says, "Yeah, I know you like to work it, but I don't want you working. I want you to be available."
Yeah.
That's the
every
thing. That
time
is not
I
going
need
to
you."
work for me.
Yeah.
I've always said it. No, it's not going to work for me. Because
No.
personally, that is a personal
Is it
thing.
because I'm a fine boy?
No,
Let's find,
no, it's not even a
find
finance
rich
thing.
man.
It's a personal thing for me. I have always believed if a man told me to start working, the man wants to strip me of something.
And I do mine is the devil's work.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's my own mindset. If you tell me I should stop working, I always believe you have an opportunity.
What if it pays you for your time?
How much will the person pay me?
Jeff Bezos.
See, Aki,
So-
I understand there's a place for money. There's a place for
Yeah, it's knowing that the
Fulfillment.
fulfillment of
Fulfillment and
knowing that
value, yeah.
For me, that's the kind of person that
an
me I
understanding
am.
between
Yeah.
you and him. But what if it's like, okay, I just want you to take care of my kids. You know,
Shola,
this
see, this is the
That's-
thing we
that's
would have
the-
talked
that's
about.
the
How
full-time
many-
job.
how
I
many-
can't.
That's the full-time job.
How many
for me,
nannies
that's a
does
control
Georgina?
That's the
How
control
many
issue.
nannies
Thank
does
you.
Georgina have?
Thank
So
you.
it's a
Does Georgina didn't sign prenup? Or?
Ooh.
They're not
Eh,
married now. We judging
Oh yeah, that's true. They're not
Ronaldo's,
married.
he
Ronaldo's-
pays
No, they're not
every
married.
month.
They're
That's
not-
So that's what I'm
just-
saying.
And
No,
there's
see,
even
that's
more that
it.
she
To
just cover
each-
herself.
Aki,
So-
to each his own. Me, it
There's
doesn't
no
matter
other
what you
Gucci
want to
store.
pay me. At times, it's not
Look
even
at
about the
Gucci
money.
stores, how
It's the
much?
satisfaction
Yeah.
of going
And
out
fulfillment.
and coming
And
in. Yes.
fulfillment.
That's- it's more than that for me.
Well-
That's for the other tip.
In my opinion,
Looks like it.
should that be the right way to enter a marriage, Steph? Number one. Then is there trust?
Yeah.
Just trust.
Yeah.
I'm just protecting my assets.
It's just like trust
It
but
depends,
very
like,
fast.
again,
But like
depends-
she said,
depends on the
we
person.
need to really, like, if it was me, I would think
Mm.
deeply
Yeah.
before, venturing into that. I would not.
Okay, sorry, Shola. For me, I understand the trust part. Because it's, okay, you don't trust me, then I don't have any reason to trust you as well, which is what will bring my own condition into it. Do you understand?
That's what I'm saying. Is that
Yeah.
the right way to enter
Yeah,
a
to
marriage?
start a
Yeah.
So
I
for,
get you,
for,
but-
for me, so as a guy, for me, I'll take it two ways. Like where I stand today financially, forget prenup. Yeah, I make that kind of money. But if I was rich like that, and I was rich to the point where I'm going in, I will protect what I had before
that marriage.
I have to, right? I'm not talking about 2 million, 3 million. I'm talking about like
A billion.
heavy hitters, right? Now, whatever I earn from when you come on the cruise line, we can divvy that up, right? We can give, we
Cruise line
can,
makes it
yeah.
like there's someone waiting after.
Okay, what if she
Right.
insists that, okay, she's okay signing the prenup, but then she puts a clause?
that what?
The no cheating,
Yeah,
like you
your
talk
condition.
about, the
That
no
one is easy
cheating,
now.
the
Eh, that one is fine.
So,
That one-
you
that one is-
really, if you look at it very well, right? If both of you don't have the intention to do something stupid,
Yeah.
there's really no big deal.
That one is fine.
I mean, yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
and
me
that's the
being
perspective.
Yeah.
me,
Mm.
if I have that kind of money, I will invest it in you to establish you to the point where even if you were
Even
to
while it is
leave,
good, nothing safe.
if,
you don't get.
if you were to leave, you should be okay when it's when
Exactly.
you know that time is to come. Like that's the way I see it.
But you know, for some people, when you look at it, like just like in case of that Akini, even though we don't know exactly what the true story is,
Mhm.
when the women go after the men, it's not because they necessarily want that money.
It's just to
They
punish
just
them.
want to hurt them.
I mean, Jeff.
Yeah.
Jeff's
So-
wife
Yeah, it
is
might just be
using
because
money
I'm
for
a bad guy.
charity.
Like this
Exactly.
one, there was one, you saw one this morning for this Israel Adesanya.
Yeah.
You see it?
So that's girlfriend too.
The girlfriend, yeah, is suing him
Oh,
because they
married,
dated for too long.
and he has not.
And
Oh,
he married.
boss.
He married her.
Did he promise her marriage after he said?
That's what I said when I had it. That's what I said.
Yeah,
If he
you
was
need-
to date to marriage, she has a case because legally you can sue. Yes,
What does that mean?
you can sue. She has if you if you're in a relationship and the person did not marry you.
Did I sew you? Did I tie you down onto
No,
this?
so she
Why
has.
did you- why
Oh,
did
she
you
has
get
to.
married?
No,
Why
I
did you
didn't
get
know.
married?
It was a lawyer that told me.
In
you can-
Australia, which
she
country?
has no everywhere. If there is if you dated
But
and the intention
relationship,
is to
no.
marry. The intention, the problem is how are you going
Intention
to
is
establish
difficult.
the
Exactly.
intention?
Intention
You
is
have to
difficult to
document,
establish.
documental proof that you said after 2 years, if you're still together, we'll be
We'll
married.
marry.
Okay,
Yeah.
then
So
the
if you have all
foundation
that,
is
you
war
can
already.
sue.
It's war. Because
Exactly.
all this documentation, this is relationship. Like we are both in it. So what's all this?
And this idea
This
So
was
that
like,
treated like
the truth of the
transaction.
matter is that become
This
transaction.
transaction.
and,
Transactional.
you people may hate me if I say this, but women should always
We will hate you.
understand. There's a door, exit, get out. If it's too long, go.
Go,
Like
exactly.
this
You're not
idea,
married,
that, exactly. Just go. You know, cause you think Adesanya Zone is funny. Tiger Woods Zone is funny because apparently there's a clause in their relationship about sex. So now
Yeah,
she's
but-
suing him for sexual assault.
Ah.
Yeah. So again, you know, I think
But
initially.
they're married. You said
No, they're
that.
not. It's his
Oh,
girlfriend.
ah.
So I think
Okay.
initially.
So, Shola, even if you are married, you can sue for sexual assault. If you say no, and your husband or your wife, yes.
It's forcing, right?
Yeah, it's very
Right?
Yeah,
And they're,
they've said it, yeah.
But you know,
And when-
the law is so vague and fluid that
It's proved.
there's so many things you can sue people for, and there's so many things you can
Just
redo
do
yourself.
it.
It's
Yeah.
really what you can prove.
truth-
in
yeah,
court.
exactly,
it's
That's
what you
the
can
legal
prove.
And
system
the
is.
obligation is on the person suing to prove
The proof
that.
of
Yeah.
the burden of proof.
Burden of
It's
proof is on
exactly,
the
it's on,
person
it's on
suing.
the other
Yeah.
person saying, so sometimes it's just a waste of time.
Yeah.
as far as I'm concerned.
All right, so let's switch it up a little
How
bit.
many
Let's,
minutes
let's,
we have?
we have about
Okay,
20
we have
minutes, so
less
let's
than
switch it
20.
up a minute. So I want to get your take on this. I don't think we're all educated people, and I know we lay a heavy emphasis on educating our kids. But I had an experience not too long ago that had me thinking a little bit different. So we had a plumbing issue in our house. So I went on Thumbtack, got a plumber. The guy showed up to my house. $200 later, and an hour later,
Try.
the guy was done. Issue fixed. So the accountant in me is sitting down
$200 an
and he's
hour.
going $200 an hour. If he works 5 hours a day, he's at 1,000.
Why kind of woman would you get?
5,000 in a month, 30,000 in a year,
You are a lost
20,000.
Ah, okay. I see
Why?
what you're
Yeah,
doing.
you are a lost.
Why am I killing myself to send my kids to college to come out in
And
debt?
to save for
And they cannot
college.
earn 240,000 like the plumber did. Now I know that the 240,000 is more of a, I think might be a stretch, but still, I mean,
It's a lot of money.
there's always going to be plumbing issues. That's just the reality. Like that's established, right? The AI can't even do it well. You saw the robot that was stalking chef and got tired.
You open
Robot.
it up.
You know what
So-
happened?
DUI.
Finish. Just
So from there, my mentality is, and I'm not against my kids going to college, but after high school, 2 years technical, we call it issue of where I'm from. Learn how to do something with your
Yeah.
hand, whether fixing a car, whether it's plumbing, carpentry, or whatever it is. And then based on that,
So that's making your hair.
or making hair for women, sewing, you know,
Dresses,
Summer
yeah.
guy.
and
Make
things
sure
like
you're
that.
earning your money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And while you're doing that, once you have that technical skills, again, you know, finance part, you're thinking, okay, oh, I have a 19, 20-year-old with technical skills. I set up an LLC for the kid. You're under my insurance till you're 26, you're set. Now go to school. But that school, do it part-time. Let's focus on growing the business. By the time the kid is 30, the kid has an established business, like 10 years of business, and maybe instead of college taking you 4 years, maybe it takes you 6 years. But guess what? You have your party as well. And you're, in my own opinion, you are set for life. We've been talking about marriage since. I think the most critical thing with me turning 40, my 40, is flexibility, having the time to spend with my family. And I think owning your own business
Can
gives
give
you
you
Can
that.
give you that.
So it's like long term.
Okay,
Boom,
so
boom,
you know
boom.
where we come from, right? You know, they always emphasize that even though you go to school, get something handy. They always tell us that, and then we just feel, I think our generation were the ones that now decided that they don't need to. Because when we were growing up, our parents were out. I
I mean,
remember
there's
my
a lot
dad.
of technical schools
Yes.
in Nigeria.
Yes.
There's a lot.
I remember my dad. My dad will insist you go do computer, whatever. My dad will insist you go sit with the tailor. My dad will once school is out.
Oh, okay.
Once school is out, because it will tell you that even if you end up being a mechanic, the education will make a difference.
You
So,
mecha-
and I
you
think
mechanic,
Not
you
all
yeah,
parents-
it is. I'm
not
telling
all
you.
parents are like that.
Yes, so I'm just saying that we like
So
when
now we are there now.
we are there now. We
We are
just
there
feel
now.
no, it's just school.
I don't feel
And
it's school
guess,
anymore.
guess what?
No.
I like this topic. That's why I'm like, gee. Because I have a student in my class. I don't want to say a kid because he's fully grown.
It's
He
vernacular.
is, yes, he's a senior. You know, so it brought us, no, he didn't bring the topic up. So I'm like, okay, Abraham, you know, finish your assignment. It's a project, it's a major grade. You know, just encouraging him, say, Miss, I don't need to do this anyways.
There you go.
I have my money. You know, I work with my dad. So why am I in school? I have the money, and his friends were, you know, other kids were in the class, and I was feeling for that kid like, hey, what if Richard is in the class with this type of child? Because the way he was saying it, exactly everything you narrated just now, like, so what's the
Like
point
ready
of going
go
to school?
Mm-hmm.
And he kept talking to his friends like, okay, so I have this, I have that. He has his own car. He fixes cars, his friends' cars. And you know, the friends were like, niece, because I was asking him a question like, so, Abraham, you need this education. Yeah, I get it, miss, but I have my money. As in the way he was talking to me, self. The way it was like, yeah. So, I felt like he was having a little bit of influence on other kids, the way he was talking. Like,
Yeah.
hey,
But he has a skill though.
But
He has
okay,
a
I
skill.
think my other. If I
so
want
what's
to flip
going
it
on
right,
in this
are we
generation?
saying education is just about money?
So for me, education. Okay, so to me, I say education twofold. The immediate goal of education is to allow me
Educate
to
yourself.
earn. You
Oh,
know,
Okay.
for me,
yeah,
it's-
goals
it's
to an
to-
end.
Goals
it's
are
for me
different with
to
everyone.
earn,
Yeah.
right? And then, actually, 3 ways. While getting the education, the experience, like, I never take that for granted, right? So while going through college, let college go through you.
Yeah.
I think there's a growth process
Yeah.
in that.
Yeah.
So you're not 27, 28 trying to do
Mhm.
kiddie stuff.
Yeah.
That's my own opinion there, right? So, and then as soon as I'm done, boom, hello world, where's the
Need the
money,
cash.
right? Allowed me to earn. And then all the things that I gained, educating myself, I think the education that I received, it comes with maturity. Like at 21, 22, I'm not really applying those, the things I heard
You're
in
not applying
classroom.
it to
Yeah.
I'm
life.
not really
How you
applying
go.
them. But as I'm like 28,
How you
29,
go.
30, 35, I'm like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
so we did this thing in management class. So this is
But
what.
it was
What
still
it is.
useful.
It's always going to be useful. It's always going to be applicable.
Yeah.
But for most part, so the way education worked for me is the technical knowledge were applicable immediately. So my accounting classes, as soon as I graduated and I got a job,
Instead
I
of
could
working
apply
with
them.
it, yeah.
My management classes became applicable later in life
Right.
after I was managing people, which also came with growth
Yeah.
and maturity as well.
Yeah.
So it's all kind of like inclusive, but you use them. It's like a
Yeah,
toolbox. right, that
because
you
I was
use
just
in-
thinking about it when she
in-
was
in
talking
different
about it. He's
phases
saying,
in life.
I'm making money, I have my money.
The kid is making money, but to her point, education allows you to mechanic better if he's a mechanic. right?
Exactly.
Education
That's
allows
my
you
point.
what she mentioned.
It
You
makes
see what
a
I'm saying?
difference. That's why I'm saying that.
Yeah,
He's
that
saying,
is
I'm
saying,
making my money,
yeah.
I'm making my money.
but
I
it's
think-
still young.
It's the
Yeah, it's still
yeah,
It's still
because there is a
young
kind
and
of
saying that
polish you
because,
get when you're educated. I don't know if it's me,
Yeah.
but I see like when I relate with,
And the
I don't want to
confidence.
mention it. Yeah, when I relate with them, when you relate with the educated ones and the non-educated, you will see it.
Yeah.
You will notice.
And education will put
Yeah.
you in rooms that,
Yeah.
as if Wale Soyinka that said that, like education will put you in rooms
Where money
that
will-
where money may not
May
put
not
you,
Yes,
and then
yes.
you feel. Case in point, Jalen Hurts plays for Philadelphia Eagles, quarterback. This dude just signed a 5-year, $256 million contract. Guess what? He just got his masters. He just graduated last week.
Mm.
He could have said,
I don't want to play.
I got my money.
Yeah,
What
okay,
was that boy
Venus
saying?
Williams, Serena Williams, they were all ballers when they went back to school.
So I was thinking about this thing. I'm like,
Why?
the sports world does not shout how these people go back to school
Mhm.
to get their education.
Yeah.
Like they will tell you, like, oh yeah, you know, he left as
Yeah.
a freshman, he left,
Yeah.
but they, what's his name? Stephen Curry.
Curry, yeah.
He just got his own education. Like
Yeah.
all these guys,
And
they
going
They
back
still
to
go back to
to
school.
school.
So the point is, education will refine you. Education
Yeah.
will
Polish you.
polish you.
Yeah.
Yes, polish you.
So
Some paper
the point I brought up was not to ignore education
Education.
completely.
So,
But it's
young,
more
young
so
folks,
the technicality of it,
Please,
you know.
don't-
Money
learning-
is good.
That's
Money
what
is
they
good
go
because
like
money
I said.
takes off a lot. You've been quiet all through this.
I'm listening. My head is like spinning in so many different ways.
Ah,
Just
my head is
thinking-
still spinning after that
Just
plumber
thinking
left.
about-
My head is still spinning.
Not that
It's
kind of
still
Accountant.
Yeah, not that kind of spinning, but for me, I'm thinking about it in so many different ways. So education is good, but I want to take it to a different tangent, and that is also you're talking about your kids and how you raise them and the directions you push them. I think it's also about understanding that different things work for different kids.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So not trying to box all of them into that one.
Yeah.
So you can have one that you're thinking, okay, go learn plumbing, but all he wants to do is cerebral stuff.
Mm.
That's right.
He doesn't want to do that. So you can't force that
You
kid
still
to
learn
go
plumber and then you take
Different.
the skill
Just the
and
way
put it
some
in
of
the
us
system.
were
It's not gonna, like
You-
you
I
get
was
it
telling
there
you
or getting
about
on the
that.
stuff.
Then-
and-
Mata doesn't. My younger sister.
She thrives in,
She can't
Hustling.
sit in the office. She
hustling.
can't.
Yeah.
She
So-
thrives in
so-
going around.
So for me, the biggest point is the technical skills. I'm not a millionaire, right? And the cost of education keeps
Yeah.
rising every
Yeah.
day. Yes, thank you, right? And the one burden that I'm trying to not expose my kids to is the burden of student loan, right?
6 minutes.
So, and it's about, and I'm
How do you
also,
set them up
is
for
how do I,
success?
exactly, where,
Yeah.
you know what? And then I think another thing we take for granted is ownership,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I think that, obviously, even as a cerebral person, as a neurosurgeon, to me, neurosurgeon is more technical because you're
Yeah.
still working with this, even though you go through the extensive.
I mean, there's nothing you're
education
doing that you
of it.
won't put your hands to some, even if you're coding.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
so,
be
but
down
it's,
somehow,
it's,
you
it's
know.
how do I make that
Yeah.
process, a lot easier.
And
All right,
it's a good
so-
point.
Want to talk politics?
Nigeria politics or which one?
Nigeria politics.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
we have it for
okay,
minutes.
for politics, who is going for the
So we'll wrap it up.
For
on
the-
For the inauguration.
inauguration?
Which
Inauguration.
Inauguration, take inauguration.
Anna.
Is it
Sorry,
okay?
Yeah, that's
Sorry, who is
inauguration.
going for it?
Which one? Baba Blue?
Baba, yes,
Baba-
in Nigeria. Is anyone going?
I'm an American.
Balabulu.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pay for my
no.
ticket. I'll go.
Balabulu.
I'll go. That's
It's
politics.
actually
I'm
it's
an
actually
American.
interesting times in Nigeria when it comes to politics.
So here's my take on, no, maybe my take. This is what I wrote down on politics. Question number 1, is Nigeria a failed state?
Yes.
And if it is Tinubu the right person
No.
to get us out of it?
Short and simple.
So who can get Nigeria out of the?
Itobi.
Ah,
Itobi.
ah, Odo. Okay, don't bring this
See,
politics topic.
I don't-
Yeah.
I think I'll stop at number 1. Is Nigeria a failed state? Yes. And I'll just leave it at that. Because
I know who can get us out of our country.
who?
Eh?
Who? Please,
God,
I'd like to hear.
God.
No,
No,
say it.
no.
It's the citizens themselves.
Oh, thank you.
It's
The thing is, the truth of we want to sit young and it's
themselves.
the
All of
people.
us.
Yeah,
It's
that's
the
just what
So
it's
I like when you say it's the people because you're right, it's the people. But then you look at the people and you look at it already.
No. And that's why it's still there.
That's why she said it's a
and-
failure.
That's
why
why
it
it's still
hasn't
there.
changed.
And
Yeah.
are they going to be ready anytime soon?
They are not.
No.
Because they
And-
want to point.
What's the trend? I mean,
Comes-
I'm sorry because my
Let me-
background is in data and analyzing stuff and
Mhm.
analytics. So I look at trends a lot, and I'm looking at the trend in Nigeria, and I don't see anything that indicates that it's a country that is about to turn around and start to fix
Oh
stuff.
no, we're not at the brink.
So, is it a failed state? Yes. Who can fix it?
The people.
I don't know, because you look at, you listen to young people talk, people that you're thinking, okay, morals is gone. We don't even have,
That's
we
right.
don't have morals,
Nothing
we
is
don't have any
gone.
commonality,
We don't have any.
it's like, who called, I think it was Wole Soyinka or someone that said, Nigeria is not a country, it's a geographical expression.
It is.
And until we understand that, we have so many people with different goals, different values, different reasons why
We
they
don't
are
think
on that
alike.
table.
We don't reason
We don't think
alike.
alike.
And
We
then
don't even
and
have the
yet
same-
we're trying
We don't have
to
a
merge
purpose.
it.
We don't have a
We
common
No
we
common
have a
purpose,
defined
no
purpose,
common
yeah.
values, no
So
common
we'll
everything.
continue recycling these
Yeah.
old people. Then they'll bring
Yeah.
That
their
one
kids
even breaks
in,
it.
we recycle,
Mhm.
and then at some point things will get
It's a
so bad that I just hope we
We
won't be
start
another
turning
Sudan.
good. Amen.
Maybe China.
If
will
we
take
get
over.
so bad and then we
Bad,
start
so
turning
bad,
good,
like,
they
the
are not
auction
going
is
to
bad.
buy. They are not going to
Maybe
buy.
China will
It
take
will
it
get
over.
so bad and then it will turn good.
Let's
Let's just be
The
positive
thing is-
about it. It will turn good.
The thing is, if it gets so
Eventually.
bad, my fear is that when it gets so bad, unlike the Sudans and the other countries that just by ethnic, by tribal people, that they have a,
We can't.
just dwell.
Just drop people.
We are
We can't,
too
we are too
much.
much.
We're too much.
Unless we go back to kingdoms.
I don't know.
But see, the truth of the matter is, personally, I'm not going to believe it's not going to turn around, because one thing is, if you take hope out of humanity is
anything
done.
else, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
So I am not
There's
going
also
to say.
the
So
other
I was hoping to
no,
hear.
I am not going to. Be
I was hoping to
saying
hear her
something
say,
else. Yeah.
if it turns
Yeah.
so bad,
If you
bad,
just get to
then we
one
now
and
get to
then
that point of, yeah,
we will recalibrate.
Nigeria is good.
I mean, it
So
doesn't
break-
it
so
doesn't
it's
work
not-
like
oh,
that.
There's no revolution
It
without
doesn't work like that,
bloodshed.
right?
It's the-
Yeah,
it's the-
like
which
that
is
bad.
the fair.
That's
the fair, that when
inclusive,
it gets
like,
to
it's
that
not bad.
point where so many people we don't speak the same language. Let's just hope that
Exactly. It's the hope. I don't want to take it's bad. It's bad and
It's
most
that
of
life
it
support,
is
someone will
worse.
not yank that
You know,
plug and
but
say,
let's not
"Ah."
just take the hope and say, yeah.
But it is bad.
Because
The,
it is.
the only
It is
thing, the only
bad.
thing
It
I
is.
would say for Nigerians, especially Nigerians back home who
Yeah.
are watching, when we're all
It's
young,
okay, it's good. Nigeria.
we used to sing this
Because
song.
they know we're not going to lie to them.
Parents, listen to your children. We are the
Leaders
Who
of
was the
tomorrow.
president when you were singing
Leaders
that
now.
song? When you were singing that
I
song
call
for your
you
parents?
Babangida. But we are,
With the
we are
court
the
of,
leaders now, right?
Mhm.
Right? So,
I will lead you.
We are the
I mean,
Who are the people that want
It's
to
on
be? Did you even see
us.
the crop of the people that are out there?
That's what
You
I'm
just said
saying.
something about, you read, you go online, and you're wondering, this is a youth that's thinking like this or that's saying things.
it's sad.
So where are the leaders?
We're not seeing the
So,
future.
okay, wait. Okay, so let's take a look at this. I know we're almost wrapping up. To end on a positive note,
Yeah, of course.
there are certain industries in Nigeria that are thriving. So,
Like
entertainment.
The entertainment.
entertainment.
Yeah.
I feel like the technology industry.
tech
They are
is
picking
growing.
around.
Yeah,
Tech is
it's
growing.
Yeah.
thriving. I mean, we
Fintech,
don't talk a lot about it.
Yeah.
So, do you think maybe take entertainment out, because when you have
That's our biggest export right now.
Right now.
unfortunately, right? But do you think, what are some industries that maybe through
Needs to come up.
infiltrating Nigeria, maybe that's the way we turn things around?
Tech for one, because
Okay.
I think we have some absolutely smart people. Like I look at some things that my college mates are doing and I'm ashamed of myself. I'm like, oh my god, they are coming up with like really cool stuff. I think we also have to understand that it's a resourceful country.
Very,
Yes.
very, very.
Resourceful. Well, when I talk about resourceful, I'm talking about minerals. I'm talking about agriculture.
Yeah.
Natural resources.
I think that one of the worst things that happened to Nigeria is discovering oil,
Oil.
because that was when that money,
And
that
then it just
quick
took the
rush,
focus off cocoa.
on farming and
And
everything.
farming and all that.
I remember then back in KPMG, this was 2007, 2008, and we're doing some project on creating Vision 2020, which has come
Then,
and gone.
can you imagine?
We had
You
this
know
whole-
the whatever then about Vision 2020.
And one of the things they did was to go to like countries that were leaders in different, crops, like the Nigerians. And we started digging into palm oil. We were going to Malaysia too. But when you actually dig into the history of Malaysia, it comes right back to Nigeria. And it's the same for a lot of all these other different cocoa.
Yeah.
So until we go back to what we have, that God has
We have
blessed
a
that
lot.
Well,
country.
you know that was what Buhari tried to do when he came in. Do you remember?
Is the way he communicated is
Yeah,
the
the way he
got
communicated, but
to
then he tried to like want every
Agriculture.
Nigerians to go back to farming and doing all
Yeah.
that. He came with I don't know what happened,
Mm.
but that was how when he came in, he started that he stopped a lot of importation and all that.
Yeah.
And I think people should go.
But they went
Well, I
about it the
think
wrong execution.
He went
was
about
bad.
it the wrong way. One, two, again, the people.
Execution was bad.
The people kicked against it. There was a lot of, hey, Edu Pawa, there is no right, so there is no kiniko. So that's why I'm saying that even our mentality
And it is
needs
wrong.
to change.
Completely wrong. No morals.
I'm
Everything
telling
is-
you, our
You're
mindset.
seeing parents encourage their kids to go the Yahoo
Yahoo
route.
But
Everybody's
I
keeping
tell
money.
you,
So it's about just putting food on the table,
On the table.
right? And
Instant
regardless of
gratification
the
is
means,
coming
right?
from
it.
Yeah,
Instant
yeah, love someone
gratification, that's
else.
what I
Regardless
get it.
of
Yeah.
the means.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah,
all right.
sorry,
So
No
quick
minutes
one.
more.
Talk about entertainment. Let's not take entertainment out right now because I just remember Tiwa's.
So
basic
Tiwa,
topic, just
so when
posted.
I heard Tiwa was doing the
It's a good thing.
coloration thing,
Mm.
I was like, what song is she going to sing?
And she sang your
But I forgot she
song.
did the mobile for
Yeah.
for Lion King.
King.
I mean, she's always been an
She's
ambassador
versatile.
for
Tiwa is very
So I'm not sure if you guys have seen her audition from back in the days when she came in. I mean, she's a student of the industry. Like she's not here by default.
No,
you
she
know.
went through the hard
went-
working
yeah, she
and
went through
earned
it,
her
and
stripes.
she
Yes.
exactly.
I
she
like the
earned
fact
her
that
stripes, right?
you
know,
mentioned
so,
that.
Yeah, she didn't get lucky. She's
No,
not.
she
She's
She
not.
wasn't
a-
handed to
She's
her.
not
wasn't
the product
handed
of
to her.
time
She
or
wasn't bought
anything.
there
You know,
time.
so
She paid her dues.
and she paid her
She
dues.
did.
paid
And
her
also,
And she didn't give up.
she met
She never
the
gave
queen
up.
actually at some point too. You
Yeah.
know, so
Yeah.
I wasn't surprised that she was called because I mean,
She's your wife's cousin.
yeah, they are cousins after all.
Yeah.
But
Then aside that, seeing the lesson I learned from, watching that is, she just went through this backlash and all the
but
whatever
essentially-
happened to her,
The sex scandal.
the scandal, and she did not, because of that, give up
Sex
on
tape has been
her.
Okay, the
vandalized
truth
by-
of the matter, I think it was stage managed.
You think so?
She came out. That was a rumor. I don't know.
That was the way I felt. I felt it was.
I was just
Yeah.
looking at her
Yeah.
career at that point. I didn't see any reason. But one mad respect I have for her is the fact that she always rep Niger, right? You know?
Yeah.
She always rep
In
Niger.
a good way.
I mean, I'm sure
Yeah.
her wearing that green wasn't
Yeah.
by default,
Yeah.
right? It was purposeful.
And
It was even
speaking of-
designed
Speaking
by
of
a
the
Nigerian
there was like-
designer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The song didn't have that Omowani in it,
Yeah.
and just incorporating that
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That was, so
Yeah.
hey,
Like
man.
our-
Minus 33 minutes. Minus 3
Oyinbo
minutes.
play, bang, 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 I said,
Yeah.
So
It
for
was a
me,
beautiful
yeah,
thing
for
to
me, that's
watch,
respect.
and it makes you feel somehow as a
Yeah.
Nigerian.
I don't know why
So-
people had bad reviews of. I mean.
Oh, you can never please everybody.
About
like
what?
it.
Oh, people
About
that's
the
what they
performance.
tried to
Performance.
say was not about the performance, but the whole thing generally. They just felt people
Yeah.
will always want to say.
There will be likes and dislikes. So.
I mean, we
She
can.
did good.
That's-
Tiwa
that's
did
another
good. We are
topic.
proud of Tiwa. Even Ghanaians, I heard that they so Tiwa, we are proud of
Nigeria's
Tiwa.
entertainment industry.
Oh,
is-
they're killing it right
Yeah.
now. I mean,
That's
the
yeah.
only
Did you
thing
see
we
Davido
have.
on SNL?
Yeah, Davido is always
Came on
there now.
SNL,
He's
and
always
that was the
Yeah,
first
that's
time he
true.
even did the
Yeah, yeah.
unavailable
Yeah,
thing,
yeah,
and he was.
that's true.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So
so
they're
I
always
Yeah.
killing it.
I'm gonna go
Burna
to-
Boy always.
yeah,
Burna Boy, I mean,
so-
they all like Gala. They all like
Met
Gala.
Gala. Even with
Yeah.
Tim. I think
Tim
Tim
was there,
Yeah.
you know.
You guys are
so-
doing well. I know that's the biggest thing we have
Anyways,
now, but
so
we need to
this
celebrate it. Abi?
Yes, so
This-
support
this
ourselves.
Yeah.
brings us to the end of our show for today.
It's
Yeah.
been fantastic.
Hope you guys
Hope
have
you
fun.
enjoyed it.
Hope you
Thank
guys-
you, God.
Thank you to
Thank
our
you.
little
You did great.
Yes, sir.
And till next week.
Next week, Ike,
On the
we do not
Next
know.
month. Are we weekly monthly now? Are we monthly?
Well, that producer, they're
okay.
asking you
All right, till next month.
until the next
Till
time
the
you're
next
waiting.
episode.
So we come your way until the next
Until the next
episode.
episode.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
This is Aki Akani, God's favorite. We'll see y'all later.
Peace out.
This is Oduma Kerele, Omo Baba. See you later.
Adeshola, the minstrel with Adeshola.
Then
Oh,
you
yeah,
always need to be the last.
always
This is like-
worship.
It's kind
I
of-
love to
It's
worship.
time for
So
that.
till next time, when we come your way, keep worshiping God.
Okay, now. See you later. Peace
No, this
out.
is like they've said it all. See you all later. Peace out.
Peace out. Bye, guys.